Chapter 2. My early days. My first home was a large meadow with a clear water pond and big, shady trees. I was very young and kept running with my mother all the time. She went out to work during the day and came back at dusk. There were 6 other young colts in the meadow. We used to play and run together. One day, my mother told me, "Listen carefully. I want you to grow up as a gentle horse with good manners." I remembered her words. Our master was a good and caring person. He treated us like his children. We liked him very much. One day, in the spring, a terrified hare ran close by. Dogs came chasing. Huntsmen followed them. The dogs caught and killed it instantly. The huntsmen looked happy. 2 fine horses had fallen down. One rider got out of the water, the other lay still. My master picked up the young man. His head fell back and arms were hanging by the sides. He was George Gordon, the only son of the landowner. He was carried to the master's house. The veterinary doctor came to see the black horse. His one leg had broken. Someone brought a gun from master's house and shot the horse. My mother said his name was Rob Roy. He was a good horse. A few days after this, young Gordon also passed away. I grew into a handsome black colt with a fine and soft coat. I had a nice white star on my forehead and a white foot. At my age of 4, the landowner scrutinized me thoroughly. He adored me very much and said, with proper breaking in, he will do well. Breaking in meant to teach a horse to wear a saddle, a bridle, a collar and straps. Master began to give me riding practice from the very next day. A horse must stand still till the person has ridden on its back and a cart is fixed behind to be pulled. He must bear tiredness, hunger, and discomfort of not being free from harness without jumping, kicking, or biting. It is great agony. Master gave me some oats to eat, got the bit into my mouth with great difficulty and fixed the bridle. Bit is made of cold hard steel. It feels very bad to have it in one's mouth. Bridle is attached by straps over the head, under throat, around the nose and under the chin. Putting on the iron shoes was another bad experience. The ironsmith took my feet in hand and cut away some hoof. He inserted my feet into iron shoes. Then he drove some nails through it into my hoof to fix the shoes properly. It made my feet very heavy and stiff. After this, master made me wear new things, a stiff collar around my neck and a bridle with 2 blinkers against my eyes. I could now see only in straight direction because of the blinkers. Then he fixed a small saddle with very stiff strap right up to my tail. Slowly, I got used to it. It was a great experience to see my first train. I remained calm near the stations. My master had broken me indecently. I left my first home early in May. My stable was big with a large window. It had 4 stalls. My caretaker was James. A fat pony stood in the next stall. He turned round and said, "I am Merrylegs. Young ladies ride on my back." At times, I also carry mistress in a low chair. The coachman was John Manley. He gave me a good grooming in the morning. I was looking good. Master was pleased to see me. The next day, I was brought up for my master. He was not only a good rider but very kind too for his horse. As he came back, the lady asked him, "How do you find him?" Master replied, "He is exactly as John had said." The lady said, "We shall call him Black Beauty." Master agreed, and so I got this name. John told him, "He looks like Rob Roy because Farmer Gray's Duchess was the mother of both." I never knew that the poor horse who had got killed was my brother. John took good care of my mane and tail. He never showed me any bad temper. The stable boy, James Howard, was also gentle. After a few days, I had to go with Ginger in the carriage. I was worried about her behavior. However, she proved to be a good partner. John never had to use his whip. Master and John both liked our steps. Gradually, we became good friends. Merrylegs was a nice-tempered, cheerful little fellow. Everyone liked him. Miss Jessie and Miss Flora used to ride him about in the orchard. There were 2 other horses of our master, named Sir Oliver and Justice. I was happy in my new place. All the persons were nice to me. The straps, bit in mouth and blinkers on the eyes were the only things which did not let me have the feeling of freedom. One day, I had a good chat with Ginger. I told her all about my childhood and breaking in. She said, "With a background like yours, I also would have been like you. It is very difficult now." She told her story. I was taken away from my mother at very early age. He did not care for us at all. He kept on whipping me. I threw him off in anger. I saw him get up slowly and go into the stable. I was standing under an oak tree. Nobody came to catch me. It was very hot. The flies sat on the bleeding parts caused by the whiplash. I felt hungry and thirsty. The saddle was giving a great discomfort. Old Master came in the evening and offered me oats. He was annoyed to see the blood on my side and led me to the stable. Master told Samson, "You have done a bad thing today. You have been very cruel to her." Then he led me into my stall. He sponged my sides with warm water, taking great care of my injuries, and spoke kind words to me. After my breaking in, my windpipe also felt bad. Had I been there for some more time, I would have developed some trouble in breathing too. Whenever someone came to take me for carriage, I would jump and kick. The groom beat me up for this behavior. One day, they buckled us into the carriage. Soon, I was able to break the harness and ran as fast as I could. That was the end of that place for me. I was sent for sale. A dealer purchased me. I was sold to another gentleman. He was a good master. I liked the place, in her. John believed that patience and gentleness combined with firmness, petting and common sense should be given to the horse every day. Merrylegs joined us and began to tell about her day to us. It was a lot of work for Merrylegs when children of the vicar Mr. Bloomfield came to play. They rode him all around the orchard and the home premises. One afternoon, they had ridden him for a very long time. James brought him in and said, "Behave properly or we shall get into trouble." I asked him, "What did you do, Merrylegs?" He said, "The young children did not know when it was just too much. So I pushed them backwards a little. They had ridden me for 2 hours. Then another group took their turn. I took them around for 1 hour. They used a hudgel stick as a riding whip. After all, a horse can also get tired. So I stopped for a while. One boy started whipping me with the stick. So I stood on my hind legs and he slipped off. I did the same with the other boy because he also tried to whip me. Thus, I made them understand the lesson. James was very angry to see the stick and told them that these were not for nice kids.